Go. Hello and welcome to the Tottenham America channel. Today we will be previewing Tottenham Hotspur's first match of the new year as they take on Aston Villa at home on January 1st, 2023 at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. That's 6 a.m. Pacific Time. The match will be at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, so a first home match for Spurs since the return from the World Cup. The referee will be John Brooks of England. It is the 18th round of the Premier League, and you can watch this match in the U.S. on NBC's streaming service, Peacock. In terms of recent form, Tottenham came off a 2-2 draw to Brentford in their first match back from the World Cup. They came back from a 2-0 deficit after Janelt and Tony gave them a 2-0 lead. Harry Kane and Pierre-Emile Højbjerg rescued the 1 point back for Tottenham before Harry Kane hit the bar, almost making it a 3-goal comeback for Spurs, which is something we've seen a lot of this season with Tottenham. As for Aston Villa, their first match back from the break was not as great as they lost 3-1 to Liverpool, thanks to goals from Salah, Van Dijk, and Liverpool youngster Bajcetic. I don't know how to say his name. I apologize. But Ollie Watkins got the sole goal for Aston Villa. Aston Villa currently sit 12th in the Premier League on 18 points, while Tottenham sit in 5th place on 30 points, where a win would see them go back into the top 4 above Manchester United.
For team news, Spurs have 3 players out. Jed Spence is still out with a fever. Richarlison is still out with his hamstring injury. And Bentancur is doubtful for this game. He could have played. It's possible he could play. But Conte has now confirmed that he is still out injured for this match and will not be able to play against Aston Villa. But for Aston Villa, Diego Carlos and Jacob Ramsey are both out for them. So Jacob Ramsey, a real key player for Aston Villa. They'll probably miss him for their game against Spurs tomorrow. So both teams with only 2-3 players in their injury lists. Moving on to projected lineup. Spurs start with Lloris between the posts, coming in for Fraser Forster, who played against Brentford. Lloris is now back from the World Cup since he was on the bench last match. Our back 3, Romero, Dyer, Longley. Romero coming in for Tanganga since he has returned from the World Cup. 2 wingbacks, Matt Doherty, who played well against Brentford, and Ivan Perisic, who also played very well against Brentford. Our 2 in midfield, Bissouma, who had an alright performance against Brentford, not the best, and Højbjerg, who had a pretty good performance against Brentford, scored a goal against them, also starts alongside Bissouma. And then our front 3, Kane, Son, Kulusevski, no one else. And I would really love to see our front 3 click against Aston Villa.
Yeah. As for us, Lloris, we kind of need him back. Forster didn't have the greatest performance last time out. I feel like he could have done a little better on the first goal, although it took a deflection off of Longley, so that's kind of hard.
It was a very unconvincing performance from him.
Yeah. Romero, we need him back. Like, we are struggling in defense. We need a World Cup champion back in there. Longley is, he's been decent, I think, this season.
Got an assist against Brentford. He's been really good.
Yeah.
His crosses are so underrated. He can cross like Perisic on his left foot. Especially the not completely like in-swinging crosses from midfield, almost from midfield, like almost from the halfway line, maybe like 40 yards out.
And when you have Harry Kane up there, those crosses are going to be very, very important because they're exactly like the crosses that you need. Harry Kane can get onto them, and then when Bentancur comes back, he could get onto them. So those are the kind of crosses you need. Dyer is in a dire situation right now.
Dyer is in such up and down form. He was good at the beginning of the season, then he fell against Sporting in that 1-1 draw when he missed about 3 chances where we could have won the game and qualified for the knockout stages earlier.
But he actually defended well that game.
But he did defend well. And then I forget which game, but I think it was Man United. He kept coming forward too much, and he was caught on the counter too many times.
Yeah. And then this Brentford game, he made a huge mistake for the second goal.
That was just other than that, he wasn't bad. But
he's halfway into midfield, and he tries to clear the ball on the volley. He has no one within like 5 feet of him. He could have taken a touch and passed it to Longley, or who else was playing? Was it Davies? Or Davies. But instead, he just wallops it out of the field the wrong way. He was definitely aiming for a throw-in, but it goes the wrong way and somehow goes out for a corner, and we concede from that corner. That's the worst move I've ever seen from a defender ever. So it's kind of shocking. Wing backs, Perisic. Well, did he start last game?
Yeah, Perisic
he did start last
against
game.
Brentford. Kane has benefited so much from Longley and Perisic because of their crosses.
Yeah.
And he's gotten onto their headers so many times. Like, how many times has Perisic assisted Kane? Almost all of his assists have been for Kane.
Yeah.
And they're like all crosses.
Except for Longley's one goal.
What was it? Yeah.
Against, in the
Longley
Champions League.
assisted Kane against Brentford. Perisic had an in-swinging corner which he assisted Kane against Chelsea for that late equalizer. He also flicked on a header, Perisic, for Kane against Wolves.
Yep. So he's got a number
more.
of them. Moving into midfield, Højbjerg, he has to be there. He's like our best player this season. I think behind Kane, only he's been our best player. He got the goal that tied it up last time out, and he's going to be a huge player for us going into 2023. He's so consistent, and he is actually easily our best signing of the last 2 years, 3 years. Easily.
No, 5 years.
5 years, yeah.
5 years.
We haven't had a good...
well, Sonny kind of came...
No, he was 2014.
Sonny was 7 or 8 years.
Yeah. So he's a little bit more... So the last 7 years, Højbjerg has been our best signing. Easily. Bissouma had an okay performance against Brentford, but I think we need to see a little better.
I think he can do better. He just needs time to... Like, you saw Matt Doherty.
Yeah.
His first season, he was not good. He was still growing into the squad. I think that's what Bissouma needs. He needs more time.
Yeah. Speaking of Matt Doherty, he also started against Brentford, and I thought his performance was really good.
He was linking really well with Kulusevski, and that's how we got our equalizer.
Oh, my bad. Against Brentford, it was not Davies. It was Tanganga that played. He was bad. Tanganga was so bad. We called him the next, like, Ledley King. He is nowhere near that right now.
It could be that injury he picked up, like, in the 2021 season against Aston Villa when we lost 2-1.
He has not looked the same.
He went off on a stretcher, and he's not looked the same ever since.
Let's look at the front three now. Same as last time out. Son, Kane, Kulusevski. Kane netted once and hit the bar against Brentford. Kulusevski almost got the assist for Højbjerg, but it took a little deflection. And Son was actually not that bad. Like, he wasn't as bad as
Son was making his usual runs.
Yeah.
And he did well for South Korea.
I think he's getting better.
Cup. He's getting better. He's growing. I think one thing, I think his shooting is off, maybe because of that mask he's wearing.
Maybe.
Because
once he's able to see clearly.
Because his shots were not the best against Brentford, but he was able to create space, pass, and make space brilliantly against Brentford. So he was very creative.
Yeah.
He created most of our chances.
Kulusevski was, I think, one of our best players, though, that game. Especially in the first half when we all looked dead. That he was the key player, and he was very important for us. So he's going to be a big asset. Let's look for score predictions now.
Score predictions. I want to say a 3-1 Spurs win.
I think we're going to go down at least one goal, but we'll come back.
I think Aston Villa are going to score first. Probably Watkins. Watkins going to score first. And then Kane's going to score 1 to bring us level. Then Højbjerg is going to score to get us in front. Give us in front 2-1. And then I think Decky's going to score to give us the 3-1 lead.
Yeah, something along those lines.
Either Decky or Son.
Yeah, but I think we need this win. Otherwise, we risk falling out of the top 6 even, because Liverpool are on our tail. They're 2 points behind, so if we lose this, we're basically out of the top 6, which would not be very good for us, because we kind of need to be in that top 4 position, especially after the World Cup.
Manchester United have already gone in front of us. Of course, we still have to play, but right now, they're a game behind us.
Yeah.
So right now, we both have played, I believe, 16 matches, and United are ahead of us by 2 points. So are Newcastle by even more points.
4 points, but they have one game in hand against us. Like, they have one played more than us. They played 17, we played 16. So if we win tomorrow, we're only 1 point behind them, which is good. So we still have a chance, but we just have to make sure we don't make any stupid mistakes anymore. But we need to start with a good win in 2023, I think.
Yeah, it started off good in 2023. Could say the same. I mean, last year, who did we play? on New Year's Day?
I don't remember.
The only New Year's Day game I remember was when we lost 1-0 against Southampton in 2020.
I also remember the when we played.
Oh, Leeds.
Yeah, Leeds.
No, that wasn't
Last
New
year
Year's
was
Day, I don't
Watford. Last year was Watford when Davinson
yeah.
Sanchez scored that 90
And then
plus
the year
6
before,
minute
I don't
letter.
think we played on New Year's Day. I think we played on like January
It was
3rd.
Leeds.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was 3-0
Leeds.
wins against
Yeah.
Leeds. So our recent results, either on New Year's Day or close to New Year's Day,
Have been pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's it for our preview for Tottenham versus Aston Villa. Let us know your score predictions in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe and like for more Tottenham content. And until next time.
Come on, you Spurs!